Shady Grove News. I'm Pastor Chris, here to remind you that even though our campus is closed as a ministry of health and safety, our church is absolutely open because the church is the people. Our top story is about Ruth Henley and her family. Ruth Henley, during this time, being safe and having some social distance among the generations in her family, has been riding in the car with her daughter to her granddaughter's home, where from the driveway she's able to enjoy the activity of her great-grandchildren. Ruth has been a longtime volunteer over at Crump Manor, and during this time, Crump Manor is not able to receive visitors, and so Ruth's ministry has shifted with it. Ruth is now creating cards for folks and making sure that those residents know that they are loved and remembered in this time, and now her great-grandchildren are part of that ministry. They are writing notes, and they are creating pictures to be sent to these residents. Great job, Henley family. Also, news has gotten out about the Betty Fairbanks Circle and our senior members. During this time, the senior members of our church are so resilient and filled with hope. They have been resolved to stay connected, to check in on individual needs, and to stay focused on uplifting one another. They've also been gracious examples in their neighborhoods of how to give and receive care. The Sowing Seeds of Hope ministry continues, and it's now working on gathering materials to create some of the masks that are very needed by our healthcare professionals, and so we are grateful for their leadership. The Bradshaw family reports that the Weston Estates neighbors have worked together to collect food for food bags going out through the Caring Clothes closet. Bradshaws, thank you for your leadership. Love is also appearing on driveways, proving what our staffer Dana Kelly says. Just because we can't care for one another in person doesn't mean our care can't be personable. Worship services continue online, and the May family jumped right into the children's message about mud pies. The Mays got together and made a mud pie together and report it was the highlight of their week. So much good is happening through your ministry. Your ministry matters. Thank you for your continued giving and giving financially to God through Shady Grove. Ours is a changed ministry, but it's an essential ministry in this time, and thank you for that giving. Also, your prayer matters. This is a time where we want to be in prayer for essential personnel, healthcare providers, first responders, child care providers, and facilities that have been able to continue to help those of essential personnel. Plumbers, electricians, grocery personnel, truck drivers. We are grateful for all of you, and we hold you in prayer. Also during this time, we want to be especially mindful of students and teachers. They've had a big shift in what's happening with them since they're not going to be able to continue the school year the way they normally might. And so they might be grieving a sense of closure that comes with moving through the school year together and moving through those milestones together. So if you know a teacher or student, I hope that you will reach out. And I want to give a special message to our seniors in high school and college. Seniors, we see you. Friends, we see you. We see your accomplishments, all that you have done, all that you are doing, all that is yet to come. We are keeping our eyes on your future with you, looking out for the things that are yet to come, and we are holding you in our prayers. Remember that perhaps you are called for such a time as this, for you in a unique and memorable way will be persons who are like seeds planted in a space where they cannot see clearly, but coming out of the growth from this time, you will have much fruit. We love you, seniors. Also, friends, let's remember those who are experiencing financial insecurity now. There are those who have perhaps had to close their business for a time, persons who have lost work and lost a means to support their family. It's something that feels like the worst thing that could happen to you, and it feels really hard to talk about. And so be a safe place and reach out to those who might have experienced a change in their work. I know this is something happening in my family. I have members of the family who've had to close their small businesses for this time. And so, friends, let's reach out to all those whose jobs are on the line or have lost their jobs. Friends, we see you. And if you are going through job insecurity and you're not really sure where to talk about that, that's something that we can do as a church. We are positioned to be able to launch a small group of folks having this experience where you can encourage one another, support one another, and be in an environment with people who understand what you're going through because they've recently been through it as well and can help you with guidance as you move forward in this time. If you'd like to be part of that small group ministry, email me and I'll be working to bring that group together because we love you and we're with you. Mindful of the needs around us, I want to share one more news item with you, and it's a prayer tree. This prayer tree went up at the Astoria house this week. Friends, if you need a prayer, remember, there is a prayer for you. Friends, as we end our time of Shady Grove news today, I'd like to end with a confession of faith that's shared with us by our brothers and sisters in the United Church of Canada. Maybe you've heard it before. It says, "We are not alone. We live in God's world. We believe in God, who has created and is creating, who has come in Jesus, the Word made flesh, to reconcile and make new, who works in us and in others by the Spirit. We trust in God. We are called to be the church, to celebrate God's presence, to live with respect in creation, to love and serve others, to seek justice and resist evil, to proclaim Jesus crucified and risen, our judge and our hope. In life, in death, and life beyond death, God is with us. We are not alone. Thanks be to God."